You're my shelter, anchor, stability. Friends are fickle. This the overcomers anthem. Yeah. This the overcomers anthem. Moving mountains and dancing. Got the keys to the kingdom. I'll be set for life. I wake up every day as flesh and bones, humbled alone, weak on my own. Lord, you love me bare and natural. You meet me where I am, still high on your throne. I look up to you in all I do. You're my example of perfection. To be pleasing in your sight is my soul goal in this life, but there's no pressure to be perfect. Perfect you are. Perfect you are. So I don't have to be perfect. Perfect you are.
Happy Friday and welcome to a new vlog. Currently I am just making dinner. Really and truly I did Uber Eats today on a Friday, so I just kind of sauteed a little bit of apples to add to the waffles because I got chicken and waffles with grits from this Jamaican southern restaurant in Brooklyn. So if you guys are local, definitely check out Shane's Brooklyn. That is like a really dope brunch spot. And so yeah, so we ordered that through Uber Eats. So I just warmed everything again and then sauteed a little bit of apples to add on the waffles because I felt for it, made my latte, and so now getting ready to eat and just kind of do some admin stuff for the rest of the evening. But yeah, just wanted to welcome you guys. For those of you guys who are new here, I am Shanika. For those of you guys who are back again and have been back, thank you, and welcome again. This is just a vlog where I literally just show how faith meets real life. And so if you are new here, I really hope that you choose to stay, that you choose to subscribe and enjoy just all of the good things throughout the vlog. So yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys really quickly the dinner since I have it all together, and then I will talk to you guys again later. So this is dinner. It is fried chicken wings. I have waffles. And then, like I said, I sauteed some apples real quick and then have some grits. This is the hubby's dish. And yeah, so like I said, it's from Shane's. Did a little Uber Eats. And yeah, so that's going to be dinner. And of always, when I go to Shane's, I got to get the sorrel drink. So we have that for later on. And so I am always happy to have that because that's just a Jamaican staple that is just the thing. It's gonna go down, y'all. This is literally Jamaican meets Southern infused, and that's just obviously always been my POV when it comes to recipes and just cooking in general. So I always get excited when I get to try Shane's. But yep, so I'm about to eat and I will talk to you guys later. Hey, beautiful people. How are you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Like I said, I am back after earlier. It's so crazy because I literally was here talking away for like the past 10 minutes, not realizing I did not even press the record button. So here I am again doing this again. But yeah, how are you guys? Like I told you earlier, I was able to get the episode shot. So I actually did a What I'm Learning in My 30s for my series. I shot one episode of that, and then I shot 2 episodes of my new mini Bible verse series. So it was very productive, very great. Thank God. That was a productive morning. Now it's evening around like 7:30ish or so. I just am getting ready to eat dinner. I ordered Uber Eats from this amazing Trinidadian roti shop called Trin City. Definitely look them up on IG if you are in the tri-state area or you're in Brooklyn or Queens or wherever. Definitely highly recommend. Their rotis have been really good. Lately, I've been getting their stewed oxtail, which is quite interesting because they do it differently than Jamaican oxtails. So there's stewed oxtails with curried potatoes, and then I get the roti skin. Obviously, get their doubles because that's like what they're known for and amazing. And then I also sometimes get like their pumpkin, which they cook and then kind of mash it, and that comes with like curry potatoes. So yeah, you put the whole 9 yards in, and it's chef's kiss, y'all. So yeah, so I'm about to warm that up because I had that ordered earlier. Make my latte, chill. It's gonna be probably more of an admin rest of the day. I think I got like some emails maybe to check. I have to make a recipe post live on my Orchids and Sweet Tea website, which I have in the draft. So I'm going to make that live, probably do some finishing touches on some of the copy there. And then, yeah, that's really it. Probably watch a vlog or two of my favorite vlogs, and that's it. Just chill for the rest of the evening. Yesterday we had our Sabbath as a family, so usually on Saturdays we do a Sabbath together, just as a way to just honor God and just be like, the 6 days that we worked and did the things that we were supposed to do, one day we're going to give to him, trust him that he'll provide the increase and water all the things, and also just be able to spend time as a family, just dedicated time doing whatever. So we have been getting back into adding in family games and things like that, so we did that yesterday. We watched like 2 shows that we usually watch as a family. My son is into Monarch, which is like Godzilla. Like, I promise you, all things Godzilla he is into. He even has collective items, and they are expensive, y'all. Like, I remember toys being like, oh, like I wanted Barbies and collections and things like that, and I promise you it probably wasn't even that expensive. But now, like, the things that he is looking for and wants, and his things, his collectibles, especially the Godzilla stuff, because it's like Japanese, and it's, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's immaculate, but it's immaculate in price. Like, you're talking about like $200 per thing. And so he's been collecting them for years. And so he's very much into Jurassic World, but very, very much into Godzilla. So they have this show called Monarch on Apple TV. And so we've been watching that as a family. It's actually season 2. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend. Like, honestly, I'm not really one into like the Jurassic World stuff and whatnot. I watch because of him and a lot of the Godzilla stuff, but Godzilla has been very cool. Like, especially this Monarch thing, like the storyline and just the plot twist and all the things and just the intricate characters, all of that has been really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. So I've actually been into it. I've been into it. So if you have not watched it, I definitely recommend. I probably have like a pop-up here somewhere. If you have Apple TV, definitely watch. But yeah, so that has been what we did yesterday. And so I feel really rested for the most part. Like I said, I woke up early and was just kind of banging out those episodes that I wanted to record. But for the most part, I feel really energized, feel really good, rested and whatnot. And so ready to tackle the week. Apparently it was really amazing in terms of, well, not amazing, but it was great in terms of weather here in Brooklyn. I think it was like high 60s or so. So, you know, everybody was outside living their best life because after we've had like 10 degrees, everybody's like,
yes, a little spring, here I come.
Worse that it's daylight savings time, and so it gets darker later, which I love it, y'all, because I just need the sunlight. I hate winters because it gets dark so early, but I'm so happy that we're now finally transitioning into later days. So yeah, so I have been in the house because I was doing a lot of things productive wise and all that stuff. And so we were just kind of like chilling for today, but I'm excited for the spring and the summer weather to be outside and to just get some good sunlight. And so yeah, so that is all that I really have for today to do. Yeah, I just want to eat something good and just relax, watch some TV, probably want to watch something on Lifetime, because I don't know about y'all, maybe I'm old, maybe it's the millennial in me, but Lifetime, sometimes it be smacking. There was a time where it fell off and I was just very disappointed because Lifetime has always been my thing, but it has been coming back with some stuff lately. And so hopefully I'll be able to find a really good movie or so, because usually on the weekends is when you actually have really great movies and they're new movies. So I'm going to probably do that and probably watch one or two of my favorite vlogs, and again, call it a day. Just chill and do admin stuff and all of that. So yeah, so like I said, I'm about to show you guys a little bit of the once I plate everything, what the food looks like. And yeah, I'll be back, y'all. I'm about to eat. I'm hungry. BRB. All right, folks, I have something to show you guys. So my son, like I told you guys, are into Godzilla and all of that stuff. And so he's been into Spider-Man over the years, and he is very much a gadget person. He literally sits and watch on YouTube lists of gadgets and things. And so there was this thing that he saw that was like a Spider-Man kind of arm thing. And so let me show you guys. So this is the gadget. Take a close look. This is it. All right, now show the people what you can do. A little technical difficulties. Oh. There's some technical difficulties, but as you can see, it does a whole web kind of thing, and has been practicing. Oh, that's a wrap, folks.
When I think about His grace, there's freedom, something like a woman praise. I'm grateful for the loving that you gave. It's so amazing. No matter who we are, we know you'll never change. I'm in awe of how you keep doing something amazing.
Hey, how are you guys? Happy Tuesday. It is another day and another meal. So as you guys saw, I am making steak. So I just literally pan seared steak, and I just put them in the oven because I like to have them like well done. So as you can see, there were 2 big pieces. So those are currently in the oven right now at like 400 degrees. And then, as you just saw, I literally made my own homemade croutons because I'm going to make a salad with the steak because we got to keep it balanced. Both of those recipes, the steak and the croutons, are actually on my site, Orchids and Sweet Tea. So you can just head over there. I'll always have all the links in the description. But yeah, so that's also in the oven, the croutons. And so now I'm about to make the salad portion. So my salads, I love kale. And I've actually been loving the dinosaur kale lately. So this is what I actually got from Whole Foods earlier. And so I'm about to rinse them off with some vinegar and dry them and then just kind of roughly chop. And then I'm actually going to put them on my baking sheet and slightly bake them because I don't mess with the raw greens. So we got to get a little bit of that bacteria killed. So we're going to do it slightly baked. So it's going to be like a baked Caesar salad, which is going to be so good. And then I'm going to just make my dressing, which is also on my site, Orchids and Sweet Tea. I'm going to make the dressing, the Caesar dressing, which is like super easy, and it's just like a few ingredients. And then just shave on some fresh Parmesan, and that's that. That's going to be dinner. Just a salad, Caesar salad, and steak. And so I'm probably not going to eat all of my steak. So I'll probably just only eat half and just save half, which I can always just repurpose that steak for something else tomorrow, God's willing, or whatever. But yeah, so that's going to be it. So that's what I just wanted to kind of explain to you guys what I'm doing and just checking in to see how you guys are doing. It's obviously still the beginning of the week. I actually Well, by the time you see this vlog, I already had my Bible series out, the first episode. So hopefully you guys check that out and love that. I am not filming anything the past few days. I've just been doing a lot more admin stuff. So I've been releasing some recipes that I had in the draft on Orchids and Sweet Tea. Just been doing more so admin stuff for YouTube, you know, researching and just kind of creatively figuring out thumbnails and all of that good stuff. So all of that has really been taking up a lot of my time, work. But then, yeah, it's just really been chilling. So tonight's going to be a little bit more laid back. Still have a few admin things to do because I feel like you always have admin stuff. But after that, I'm probably just going to chill out and just pop a movie that I always watch, like something that I just love to watch. I'll probably show you guys a little glimpse of that. And yeah, oh, in this vlog, I am making my grandma's baked banana pudding. Now, if you are down south, you know that banana pudding is a staple. And I was gonna make it today, but then I'm like, don't really feel like it, so I'm probably gonna make it definitely before the weekend, so you guys are gonna see that. But if you are a southerner, then you know baked banana pudding was a thing before cold version was a thing. And so I love a good Magnolia Bakery cold banana pudding, but the baked version, that's what I grew up on in Florida. So I'm about to make that in the vlog, so you guys are going to see that. So let me know if you guys are the baked banana pudding version people or you are the cold banana pudding version people. And I'm also making my pudding from scratch because when I had various recipes on Orchids and Sweet Tea, which all of them I have both the cold and the baked and other versions on Orchids and Sweet Tea. But when I was making reels for it, a lot of people came for me for using like the boxed Jello pudding mix, which is what my grandma used. So ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm doing this one. I'm doing the pudding from scratch. I'm excited for that because that's just like always a comfort food staple of mine. So yeah, guys, not gonna chat your heads off. Like I said, I'm about to rinse these kale right quick, chop them up, and then put them on this and put them inside probably for like 5 minutes. I don't want them to be too, because you know kale will bake quickly, especially since I have it at 400. So I'm just going to literally do it for like 5 minutes just so that it kind of lightly bakes. And then after that, make the salad dressing and then just assemble, because at that point I think the steak is probably going to be done. So yeah, that's it. Oh, and then I'm going to show you guys my latte glasses. The doorman just called, and so I'm excited to show you guys my new latte glasses. I have been looking for latte glasses forever, and it's so hard to find unique ones because everybody kind of has the same standard. And plus, I like a little bit extra drink in mine, so I wanted something a little bigger than the standard. And I finally found it on Etsy. It's not even a latte glass, but I'm using it as one, so you guys will see though. But yeah, be right back.
No matter where I turn, there's blessings in my face. I'm in awe of how you keep doing something amazing. He's always the way, doing something amazing. Because of his grace, doing something amazing.
So I am finished. All food is made and it's time to eat. But just wanted to show you guys real quick, although I did show you overhead, but I wanted to show you guys. Hopefully you can see. So there you have it. It is steak and that's sliced, and then you have the simple Caesar salad. So as you saw, I baked the kale because, like I said, I'm not doing the raw stuff. But it's also great for digestion too because I put the olive oil and all of that on it. Although you can eat it raw and just massage olive oil or lemon juice, but I like it slightly baked. Yeah, so all of that, made the homemade Caesar salad dressing, and then have my tea. And then that is it. My peppermint tea, and that is it. I'm about to eat and chill. I will talk to you guys again later, and have a great night. Hey y'all, how are you? It is currently early in the morning on Wednesday now. It's 2 o'clock. And so I am just now sitting down, honestly. After making dinner, which was so good, the steak and Caesar salad, I had to clean up around the place, straighten up and do some things around the house, and then shower. And so I am now here just chilling, getting ready to do a little bit of admin things and then get ready for bed. But I just wanted to kind of chat with you guys, really just talk a little bit about discipline, because that's just really like the theme of this vlog, and it's just what I've been learning lately as it pertains to God and what he's been teaching me. Discipline is so interesting. I have an interesting relationship with discipline. I think honestly, mostly actually just stems from coming out of like an abusive household that was super controlling. And so I just had this notion that I didn't want to be restricted or limited. And so discipline was just something that I kind of ran from for a long time, even throughout my early adulthood. Like I just wasn't one that was about discipline. Like I wanted freedom. I wanted to kind of be free flowing. I just wanted things to just go with the flow. But as I get older, I realize obviously that discipline is something that is super important, not only just in the world, but with God. And I also think now in this season, what I've been learning about discipline is that it's not just tied to productivity, like what I thought. It's not just getting up early and doing certain things and making sure that you work out or making sure that you only eat healthy and all of that stuff. With God, it's like really more about spiritual alignment. And so that has been the thing that I think he's teaching me most, is just the spiritual alignment part, which reflects in the productivity part, right? And so it just kind of brings me to like Hebrews 12:11, where it just talks about how discipline is something that's not pleasant in the moment, but it produces like a harvest of righteousness and peace and just a life of that. And it really just lends to just the notion that God really uses discipline. Now, granted, it's talking about God's discipline in this context, right? It's talking about how God disciplines us as a good father because he's trying to mature us. He's trying to help us to grow. He's trying to shape our character, those kind of things. So I'm using both of them simultaneously. In the reference to Hebrews, how I've had to see God's discipline differently, because again, going back to the coming out of an abusive household, you think that discipline can start to be perceived as, someone being angry or perceived as something negative. And it hasn't been until the past recent years of just really delving into the word and really just like building my relationship with the Lord that I realized that no, God's discipline isn't that he's angry with you, isn't that there's always wrath or that he's always upset or that it's negative. A lot of the discipline is because he loves you and because he wants to, again, see your character developed. He wants to see you mature. He wants to see you look and be more like Christ. He wants to see you fruitful. And so even when Jesus said it in John, where he's like, I am the vine and you are the branches. And so the Father disciplines. Even when you're fruitful, he disciplines you for you to bear more fruit. And so I realized that like having the heart posture of understanding who God is and what his character is and what's his nature, then that helps you to understand that when he does discipline you, that you know that it's out of love and that it's out of a good place and it's out of a place of wanting you to be the best version of yourself that he has created you to be, which is more like Christ. So that is just something that I have been learning and leaning into in this season, just God's discipline and seeing that one is not a negative thing, and it doesn't mean that he's upset, and it doesn't mean that I'm going the wrong way always. And also the discipline of daily alignment and, just small choices daily that I make, whether that's making sure that I take time to pray, making sure that I take time to read my word, making sure that I take time to pour into my family and spend time with my family, who's my first ministry. And then it trickles down into the other kind of disciplines of like taking care of my health, taking my vitamins and supplements, and, self-care and all of those things. I'm realizing that all of those things is what helps to cultivate a life of righteousness and peace. And it has not been since fully learning how to surrender that I have felt the level of peace that I feel daily. Yes, there are moments where sometimes your circumstance can feel super loud, and sometimes you can have a moment of discouragement, but I have definitely felt it changing me, just me again cultivating that alignment daily, spending time with the Lord, being in worship with him, reading my word, journaling more about what I'm feeling or what I'm perceiving or what I'm going through, and sharing that with him. Like, all of those things is truly changing me in the way of, like, I just feel more peace with him. I just feel more contentment with him. Although there are things that I desire, there are things that I want to attain for me and my family, I find that I feel this contentment of knowing that he's with us and that his hand is on us and that he shows us in so many different ways that he's walking with us, and this is his way. And so while sometimes it can feel hard, and again sometimes your feelings will present themselves, and it'll be like you can feel overwhelmed, or you can feel weary, or you could feel frustrated, or whatever it is, overall though that peace that you feel is just undeniable. And I think that's what I am learning with God in this season, that it is priceless to have that. And we go after a lot of things a lot of the times. And I myself have gone after a lot of things. And it has been a very interesting shift to go from being super ambitious and stewarding platform like I had with Orchids and Sweet Tea, and all of the busyness that it came with and all of the things that it came with, to now shifting over into this part of my life where now ministry is more of the forefront, but it's not with ambition. It's not with a level of extreme busyness. It's not with an extreme level of I have to constantly be on social media. I have to constantly be on platforms, and I have to constantly be marketing, and I have to constantly be trying to ploy and do all of these things. It's like now is just a moment in a phase of faithfulness. And so what he's asked me to do specifically, it's just being faithful in that, and walking in excellence in that, and walking in diligence in that, and trusting that he will take care of the results. He will take care of the numbers. He will take care of the provision. And it has been at first very, very interesting. And as you're walking, you're learning it and you're getting used to it. So I'm not going to sit here and say I've mastered it. Like, there's still moments where I'm like, Lord, I need help, or Lord, I need support here, or Lord, I need provision here, or Lord, I need this. And I feel like it's just slow dripping. But when I recenter myself back to his word, and I recenter myself after a conversation with my husband, or I recenter myself after prayer, I realize that no, the safest place is here. Like Jesus said in Matthew 6, where he's like, if the lilies and the birds and ravens and all of these animals and plants and things don't have to scour for food or scour for provision, why then do we act like Gentiles, where we're like, we don't have a good father who cares and knows what we need? And so it's like, you are safe here. Like, he knows what you need, and he'll provide what you need. And if you've been honest, he's given you what you need. It might not always be what you wanted, and sometimes you wanted more, like the children of Israel, where they were trying to store up the manna, and he was like, no, every day it expires because I'm trying to teach you dependence. And so sometimes we don't want to have to depend on the Lord. So we want to kind of store up our treasures or store up things so that we can feel that level of control and that level of security in our control. But there's seasons where God is like, no, I'm purposefully giving you just enough so that you can depend on me the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And in that season, I have learned greatly that he does honor his word, that he is faithful, that he does provide, that he does care. And now I can understand why even Paul said it in Philippians, I think it's 3 or 4, where he's like, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Because it's like he's saying, I've learned to be abased and abound. And in both, it's God who gives me the strength to be able to do that. It's God who gives me the strength to be able to endure being abased, to not have enough, but trust that he provides according to his riches and glory, right? So it really has just been an interesting learning curve on discipline, just on both ends. Understanding that God's discipline equals love, and understanding that discipline and small daily choices matter. And it's not just about productivity, but it's also about spiritual alignment, because you can be super productive, super busy, and not have peace, have anxiety, be depressed, be stressed out. And it's like, nah, it's when you care more about that spiritual alignment that it permeates into the smaller choices of your productivity, but that's what carries you into that righteousness and peace. And so when you just think about it all, it's like, yeah, it's been a really dope learning curve. I can say that now. It has been painful. It has been hard. Like I said, last year was probably the one part of my life where I've probably lamented the most. And that's because it was just transition after transition, stripping after stripping, pruning after pruning. But I understand it now and I see it now. And so now, on coming out on this side of it, I'm definitely seeing it much differently. And so, yeah. So I don't know who that's for. I don't know who needed to hear that, but just know that it is for a reason. The discipline from God is for a reason. He wants us to be, again, matured. He wants us to be perfected in Him. And so it's going to be hard because we got to die to this flesh. We got to die to the things we've been taught from birth. We have to die to the things that we're taught every day through what we see out in the world, or what we hear, or what we experience. So it's a lot of dying to false truths to be able to receive the actual truth. And so that is the whole point of walking by faith. And that has been my story my whole life. But I get it now. And for a long time, I thought that it was because I just was God's least favorite. Like, just thinking about just my life and, just from birth, not being wanted to not being named, and being named by a complete stranger, a nurse. And then just realizing that my name actually means God is gracious, God is merciful, and just seeing how intentful He was in that. And just, growing up just in general, just so many things that I've endured and experienced, but God has carried me through, and He has really used it to cultivate a level of compassion and a level of concern for people in a different way, a unique way. And so I think for me, it's just when I really understand that scripture where it says all things work together for the good of those who love Him, I get it. And a lot of times we quote that as it's like, oh yeah, for Him to give you a blessing or for Him to do a thing for you. But it's like, no, it's to say that even the bad, the most horrid things that has happened to you, the most lowest things or lowest moments that you've endured, all of it works together for your good. And if the good is never that He raises you up to be a Joseph or David or whatever, the good is that it allowed you to be near Him, to be like Him, to be transformed into Him, to have the character and the heart posture that most don't have. Right? And so that's what He uses it for your good. He uses it to strengthen and to give endurance and to build your character. So that's just what I have just been learning. So it's definitely something that I just hope encourages someone. Don't look at things as good and bad per se, because everything that's in God's hand will be turned to good for you. It might not feel good. It won't erase the bad that happened, but it definitely will be something that is cultivated and worked together for your good. It'll hurt you, but it won't kill you. It'll definitely, in the end, strengthen you, give you a level of maturity you wouldn't have had if you didn't go through it. So yeah, that was just my little mini chat. I felt like I just wanted to share that, just what I've been learning right now in this season. But I really pray that really helped someone. I really pray that encouraged you. It's definitely not just cliche words. It really is stuff that I have been praying about, seeking the Lord on, meditated on, and just experiencing the peace and the true things that Christ did promise us, right? The spiritual things that He did promise us. And so a lot of the times we go after the physical things because that's just the more tangible things we think we need because we're here on this earth. But there's a lot of spiritual things that we need greater than the tangible things, because there's a lot of people who have stuff that don't have peace or joy or love or patience or self-control or any of those things. And that's the fruit of the Spirit. And that's what we want. We should be aiming to have so that we can live a life that is truly meaningful. because the stuff will come. And if it doesn't come, that's the point. Like, your life should be meaningful with or without stuff. But if stuff does come, that should just be a cherry on top, but it shouldn't be your main focus. And for a long time, that was my main focus, because sometimes when you come out of poverty or you come out of a family that is constantly struggling, you want to be far from that and you think that that solves all your problems. But then you realize that life is way more meaningful. There's way more things that matter, like friendships and family and love and purpose and calling. All of those things are things that fulfill you in a way that's so much greater than the tangibles that we sometimes go after. So yeah, so I'm not gonna talk your head off any longer. I know it's been a long time, but yeah. So I'm about to watch one of my favorite movies that I be watching sometimes when I'm working, Save the Last Dance. That if you know, if you're a millennial, then you know this is the movie. Back then, I think I recorded on DVR, but it was on like HBO or one of those channels. So I just recorded it so that I just always have it for whenever I'm ready. But yeah, I'm about to watch that, about to do a little bit of admin stuff, and then, like I said, call it a night. So yeah, so I will talk to you guys again later. Have a good night.
Hey,
So you can sit, sir. I'm not going to get you.
Hey!
Yeah. Tell the people hello.
You have to use full power?
No, it's half power.
3, 2, 1.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Hey y'all. How are you guys? Happy Thursday. Right now I am getting ready to make my banana pudding, which I told you guys earlier that I was going to make someday this week. And so today is the day. So as you can see, I have my vanilla wafers with me. I have the mini. I like to mix the mini with the regular. And so we are doing vanilla wafers. Don't come for me. I know that some of my Southern peeps love it with the chessman cookies or both. I prefer the vanilla wafers. That's how I grew up on it. But of course, you can add your chessmans, do whatever you want to do. But I use vanilla wafers. And as you can see, I got my bananas. So I am using them before they are super ripe. So yeah, so you guys are going to see me do that. I'm about to make my pudding from scratch. So first I'm gonna chop up my bananas, and then I'm gonna do the pudding and then bake everything together and then put it in the oven. But of course, just for like a little healthier twist, the whipped cream, I'm actually gonna use coconut whip. So just to kind of reduce the dairy a bit and just to make it a little bit healthier. But yep, so that is that. So you guys are gonna see me. I cannot wait, because this is like bringing me back to my childhood. This is like one of my top tier favorite desserts. Let me know if you guys love banana pudding, or you have another top tier dessert that is just like every time you make it, it's a wrap. Yeah, so I'm about to do that, and then after that, I am going to continue on my admin stuff. I've been doing like a lot of planning and just refining and all of that stuff, content wise and just vision wise for the channel and all that good stuff. So I'm about to finish that up, and then probably do like a post or something, either on Orchids and Sweet Tea or on Food Over Faith, and then I'm about to get ready for bed. So, before that though, after this, I have to actually pack out my laundry, because I just did a little mini laundry. So I got to pack that out. So I'm about to pack that out, which you guys will see, and then the other stuff. So yeah, let's get making this stuff, guys. I will be back.
Up and leave. Take a lot of courage just to live out your dreams. Bigger picture I could see if I just close my eyes. Have the foresight to believe. Time don't move backwards, it speeds to the future fearlessly. Charging forward when I open my mouth, though I may not know how. I know I was born to sing. Travel the world, raise baby girls. Bury my best friend, I'm manifesting, but not concerned. 'Cause whatever happens, I'm good. Even on the bad days, I thank God for making me brave. Living free. Wanna die when I'm 123. Really wish that all my heroes would notice me, so I could be one of the greats on a big stage, inspiring people to pray and give thanks. 'Cause somehow we made it. We're always protected while building our legacy. Travel the world.
As you can see, I just finished making my banana pudding. It's smacking. Like how my grandma used to make it when I was growing up, when I was down south. Yeah. And it's baked. It's warm. But as you know, if you're a southerner, when you do the baked version, the best part is actually the next day. And you actually eat that cold. So I actually packed my leftovers in these little containers, these little jars that I got from Amazon. So I got 2 of them. So one for the hubby, one for me. And so now you just let it cool and then you put it in the fridge and then you eat it the next day cold. And my gosh, that's it. Like they would say, the young people say, you clock it. I am done for the night. I'm about to clean up the kitchen and then, like I said, do probably a tiny bit of admin stuff and then get to bed. But definitely check out the recipe on my site, Rookers and Sweet Tea. It's legit. All right, y'all. Good night.
He was keeping all the money, Ray. That's not my fault. Like hell, it ain't your fault, Ray. Something's wrong with you, Ray. This room hasn't been redone in 20 years.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy, I think we had Thursday. I am currently getting ready to do a bit of, I guess, BTS for you guys to see what it is in terms of doing food blogging. And so I'm remaking one of my recipes, which is my collard greens. And so I'm doing food photography for it. And I'm also doing a video reel for short form. So I wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of like how I put everything together and all the things. So yeah, so let me show you guys real quick. So as you can see, this is the setup. So cameras overhead, we got all the monitors, we got other cameras here, and then we got all my stuff here, and we got 2 monitors, light, all of that good stuff. And as you can see, okay, so this is the recipe that's actually on my site. So I did this in like 2020, and so I definitely have perfected it personally since then, so I am redoing it and revamping it a bit. And then this is just where I write my recipe stuff. Don't mind the handwriting. It's just a lot of jotting down just to make sure that I have measurements and all of that stuff good. Then I got all my ingredients laid out for the photography as well as the videography, so I will literally be going back and forth between the two. And then let me show you guys the things that I choose from. So I have all my props that I have here. As you can see, I literally made like a corner. So all of this stuff that I have here are actual props that I use within all my food photography and food videos. Don't mind the books and all that stuff there, guys. But yeah, so I literally got, like, I chose whatever pots and stuff that I needed, cutting boards, all the good stuff in terms of details. So I will be using these and my Le Creuset, which is the best, especially for collard greens and cooking. And then I'll have my tabletop, which will be where I will cook. And yeah, that is the whole spiel. So you guys are gonna just see me in action. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys, if you have questions about like cameras, setup, and all of that good stuff, I always have that linked in the description where it says equipment and resources. So just scroll down and you'll see that. I have that linked because all of that is on my website, so that you know the great camera options, lenses, other equipment, all of that good stuff. So I am going to get started and I will chat with you guys again shortly.
Literally making something out of nothing. Thin air, you feel me? I'm glad to be in that position because everything is growth. Every time I elevated something to celebrate. John Jones, I went to heavyweight on these featherweights, but I ain't backing down, I'ma take the weight up another plate. Lean at the crumbs, that's how you eat, let me demonstrate. Decade in the game, I ain't lost a step, I just up the pace. Watch them up the pay, I put in the reps and pick up the chase. Then it up the balance, but we ain't even no miles away. It ain't just a talent, I took the challenge and walked the craze. Fell a couple times, but I got back up with some saving grace. Definitely leader, a pastor still need a preacher. Talk to me when I'm shallow, lend a lens to see deeper, closer in to see higher up. That's too much for the speakers, but ain't much for the thinkers. Clouded, I rush to the lower end to see what's in the deeper. Found a message to send itself, we're much younger and eager. Keep your youth and maintain your health, cause the future is trouble. But you made for the struggle, and you born with the hustle. Any imagery less than greatness, erase it and double down on your first mind. I come from the worst kind, made life before I found shine. No chain, it was all grind. I'm him and they wanna dim, but my lumen's way off the chart. I'm human, I can't admit, but my spirit up with the stars. I'm clear as I ever been. This feeling won't never end. They watching, I notice, but it ain't knocking the focus. I'm highest and hottest, but I still be the coldest. I'm a champion, I'ma win, I know. I'ma grind for mine, they can't stop me, no. If I die, it's fine, cause I live to show that it can be done. I'm a champion, I'm a champion. I'ma win, I know. I'ma grind for mine, they can't stop me, no. If I die, it's fine, cause I live to show that it can be done. I'm a champion, I'm a champion. Life been so crazy.
I am about to plate everything, so I want to show you guys how I actually go about choosing the overlay look and just all the things that I food style together. So first we're going to start with plates, and then we're also going to do napkins, because you have to have all the things. First plate, then we have napkins, which I have a ton of different types, and then forks, and then we work our way all the way to cups and all that. So this is a southern dish, collard greens. So being that I have the brown wood, I'm thinking about doing a kind of, probably go with like a mustard yellow, which would be interesting because I'm thinking I also have other stuff which I'm cooking for dinner that's going to actually be plated with it to make it a full meal. So I'm thinking the mustard yellow plates. Yeah, mustard yellow. I think that's a nice color to fit the southern vibe. Being that I chose this color, I now have to just choose the workaround color scheme that I want to go with for the napkins and accessories and all that stuff. So I can play on it and do like a dark green, which would be nice, or I can do like a stripe. but I'm thinking I like the green. Then again, I feel like the stripe just kind of gives it more of that southern feel. So I might go with the stripes. So stripes with the yellow. Then I would just pick glassware, which just to give some color, I would go with like orange, like a burnt orange kind of feel. Go with the yellow. And then also thinking about it, I can actually do brown. So these colors together with the yellow. Yeah, so I think I'll do that. And then, of course, I always like my gold. Some of them in the kitchen, so I'll get them in the kitchen. And then just thinking about things surrounding it. So probably need like a few little plates. White, I feel like it's just too classic for it. So I might go down the route of a darker color. So I got these little plates so I can put like pieces of the cornbread and all of that extra stuff on it. For the most part, I feel like that is good enough. Anything else that I think of along the way, I kind of just add once I have everything together. But I think that's like the main, because you also don't want to clutter it. I feel like I need greenery. I usually have like my mustard greens. I don't have that. So I might use like parsley or something. So if I do, then probably use these little tins, which I usually use. Add some parsley in there and then kind of sprinkle it around to give that greenery. And that is the color scheme. So you guys will see the whole works of how I put it together. And yeah. Oh, I also got to think about what I'm going to put the collard greens in. I feel like I'll go with something different and put it in like this circular kind of platter that I got custom made by Black Owned brand. Yeah, instead of a white standard thing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put it in this. And yeah, so that's that. And then I just pretty much get big spoons, serving spoons. I can play on the wood, or I like to just use my gold. So got the gold. And yeah, that's it. So that is the whole thing. So you guys are gonna see the look once I'm done.
But look how this is just like I prayed, but ain't like I thought on my way. And sitting in my zone while they plotting out my grave. I'm plotting my next stop out state, getting that pay. I kept it true, I can't say how they played. I'm just gonna state what I knew and thank God I got grace. Grace for my years I've been putting in and putting in that pain. The bounce back insane, the build up took time, but wiped up the stains. I'm mic'd up is live, tap in, let's get gains. It ain't no more wood did or should did. I got too much right now to brain. That's all I know and all I live. For all trying to stop my show. The tour 10 years ain't stopping till it's round the world and back again and back again and back again and back.
Hey y'all. Happy, I think it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I'm actually drinking some juice that I made, like a sugar detox kind of juice. Ooh, not it spilling, y'all. So much for me trying to be out here like an influencer showing you guys. Hold on, y'all. It's crazy. What a start. All right, let's start this again. Hey, y'all. How are you guys doing? Clearly, I am just being a mess right now. As I was trying to show you guys, I have my juice in here, my sugar detox juice that I made like the day before yesterday. So I'm finishing it up. Usually I finish it up in like 2-3 days max. So I usually make a large batch. But my husband also drinks it, so that's why it doesn't last as long. As you can see, my dog being nosy. Not sure why. Sorry about all this. This is the typical day in my house. It's all the movement. 2 dogs and a kid. Anyways, as I was saying, usually it lasts like 2 to 3 days because my husband drinks it as well. But if it was just me, the amount that I make probably could last like 4 days. So yeah, but just been drinking that. I haven't made it in a while actually. So I just wanted to make that and again, keep that momentum. eating healthier and all the things. Yeah. So how have you guys been doing? Like, I hope that you guys have had a great weekend and are having a great start to the week. Although by the time you see this, it'll be on a Sunday. I did a poll recently in the community, and more of you guys said Sundays you prefer the vlogs out, but I was also like contemplating between Saturday and Sunday. It just so happened to fall into Saturday and Sunday being the ones that you guys voted, but Sunday being in the lead, which is fine because now that the vlog is I'm starting the new series on the vlog, which is every day is Sunday, it actually works out for it to actually be live on Sundays. So yeah, so that is what I will be doing. I've been spending the past week filming content for the vlog, as well as just doing a lot of back end things. You guys might see a lot of changes in terms of my thumbnails on the channel and all of that good stuff. So I've just been really refining the vision for the vlog. Me and my husband has just been brainstorming, mostly me, because he does more of the technical creative direction stuff when it comes to the shooting. But in terms of me doing like more so the research and the creative parts of all the content, that's me. So I was really just doing some research and also doing like a lot of brainstorming, writing down, just sitting with the Lord, kind of seeing what is it that I want this vlog to really be, look like, what I want you guys to experience being on this vlog, because there's just so many vlogs out there, and yes, you get to see a lot of the day in my lives, what it is for me to be a content creator, be a wife, be a mother, what it is to be a follower of Christ, all of those things. But I also want you guys to have value so that it's not just, hey, watch me live my life kind of thing. So that has been just a lot of what I have been brainstorming and contemplating and really just honing in and refining. So I finally have a structure, a mission, a vision that I feel very, very good about. So you guys will see that with this vlog and previous vlog that I probably just put out. So yeah, so you guys definitely let me know what you think about the changes and the direction that you see the vlog going. It's gonna have kind of like a structure for the most part, but really more so just important elements that I just want to be a part of every vlog to ensure that you guys have the value that you need, because ultimately, again, this is not just a regular vlog of watch me live my life. This is a vlog to really help you guys through discipleship, show you guys what it looks like to really follow the Lord, to really walk this thing out called faith, and all of the in-betweens. And so I just wanted to kind of give that little caveat just so that when you see the changes and you see the things evolving, just know that it's very intentional. It's very much what I want to do with this channel, with the vlogs, and all the other content that you'll see on this channel. So I really hope that you guys are finding it great, finding value in it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it at the same time, and just all the things combined. So that's the goal. But really, I wanted to show you guys some things because it's been a couple of days since I've vlogged, because again, I was just doing so many different things behind the scenes, like the planning and all that good stuff. But I have been thinking about some of the stuff that I actually have that I haven't been wearing, and I just had stored up, and I was just like, man, like, do I really need to hold on to some of these things? Like some things I bought years ago that maybe were befitting style-wise back then, but I really don't find myself gravitating towards them today. Like there's just some items that I just always will pull and have and use. But then there's some that's just been sitting there in the dust bags, just chilling. And I'm like, on one end, you're like, okay, you keep things for keepsake purposes or just to build a collection. But I'm like, I think now at my age, you know, going on 37, I'm just like, the collection I want to build is way more intentional now. So I feel like the stuff that I probably bought randomly or just in the moment, or just again in that phase, wanting those things at that time, is just no point in me keeping it. So it literally dawned on me, like, you can actually sell those stuff. Like you don't have to just have them sitting there. And so I was like, oh, yes, let me sell some of my designer stuff that I don't use. It's super easy. Actually, I didn't even know how easy it was. I sent over like photos and stuff to Fashion File and their whole process, and they give you a quote and they tell you how much. And then you just sell it. You ship it out and you sell it. So that's what I have been doing, just figuring out what I wanted to sell. So there were just some things that so far they've proved on and gave like an offer and all that stuff. So this one is one of them, and this is like my MCM bag, my tote bag that I had for like some years. I don't even think I remember when I bought this. I probably bought this like a good 5-6 years, yeah, or 5 years, probably about 5 years or so. And so as you can see, I barely wore it. It's just like really just crinkled because the totes kind of get like that if you don't have something inside of it. I just have like barely any paper in there, but yeah, I rarely wore this, but now just my style wise, I'm not really like one that pulls this like that. I have my LV tote, which is my GM size. So that's usually what, when I'm going outside, that's what I usually pull. So I was just like, let me actually sell this. And lo and behold, they actually gave an offer. And granted, this is not this is not really expensive. I think I probably spent probably like 500, 600, between $500 and $700 on it, I believe, somewhere around there. So obviously when you sell your things, especially although it's in great condition, when you sell them, you oftentimes are not getting back your full price, which is usually, especially on some brands, like some brands like LVs and Chanel's and those stuff, you'll get closer to what you paid, but it still won't be as much as you paid. But obviously on even the lower end brands, you're definitely going to get, a fraction of the price, which is okay, again, because if it's just sitting there and I know that I'm definitely not going to use it, I don't care. I just wanted to kind of, again, relieve and create some space for more intentional purchases going forward. Then there was this wallet that I got. I think this one I got like 2 years ago. So this one was more recent. It was like a Gucci wallet, and it was like, it's one of those mini ones because I went through this phase of like, I want a more mini wallet. I don't want to carry a big bulky thing, especially since sometimes you have small bags versus big bags. So I went through the phase of like, oh my gosh, everybody was raving over this Gucci wallet. And so I actually got it, realized it's actually not for me, that I actually need to get a large size wallet. So currently when I'm just like running to some place like maybe the nail salon or something like that, I'll just take my LV coin pouch that I have that zips, and it just literally holds my important debit cards and things like that, a little tiny bit of cash, and obviously like my driver's license. But for a wallet, I actually want to invest in an actual normal size wallet, maybe more thinner. I saw this other wallet, I can't remember what was the brand, but it was a nice wallet that was a regular size, but it was thin and slim. And so I think that's where I'm going. So it's kind of like in the middle, not small, not too bulky, but at the same time, it's perfect. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Then also this agenda that I had from LV that I bought, I think this was like maybe more so 7-8 years ago that I bought this, or maybe 9. So between 7 and 9 years ago. So this is the medium-sized one. So they have the PM, the MM, and the GM. And so this is the MM. And so I had this wallet. I actually had it even like engraved. The initials are fading, but as you can see, I had little inserts and all the things in here. And so about maybe 4 years ago or so, I bought the GM size because I write big, and I realized that this smaller one wasn't really cutting it. So I got the GM. And so I'm selling this one because I was like, at first I was going to keep it, but then I'm like, what is the point? I'm not going to use it because I have the GM one, and that's the one that I showed you guys, I think either earlier in this vlog or in a previous vlog, that I usually write Bible study notes and all of that good stuff in. So I'm like, let me get rid of this because I know that the agendas are extremely in demand, because I think they're actually hard to get on the LV website, because even the GM, I literally had to scout that for months before it became available. And so I know for sure that people are really into the agendas, the ring agendas. So I was like, let me sell this one. And then another thing is the LV wallet that I got. This is actually their slimmer version of their wallet. And so I forget what it's called, but this is the slimmer version. So I actually got this because I was like, again, I wanted a slim version of a wallet, but then I just kind of stopped using it. And so I was like, let me sell it because again, I'm just going to invest in a whole different kind of wallet. And so that is just the 4 stuff that I have to pack away. I have some other things that I sold, like my YSL bag that was like brand new, but I realized that I have another YSL bag that I got that was a denim, which I prefer. And so the black one that's quilted, I actually want to eventually get like once I am at a certain pinnacle, in the sense of just like my own measurement of just being good, success wise and all of that stuff, like a Chanel as a investment piece, but also as just a thing of like, this is my one bag that I wanted in black, specifically the black quilted kind of look. So maybe the quilted or another kind of style, but that's the bag that I'm like, I'll get that in like a black quilted look. So no point in me having the YSL because I want to eventually get that. So yeah, the YSL is one that I'm selling. And then I have like 2 other LV pieces and I think another McCartney bag. So once they approve those ones, then I'll also pack those away and then ship those to them. And so yeah, so that is what I have been just doing. Like I said, a lot of back end things and then obviously this. And so right now I'm about to finish up any back end things. I'm probably going to release another recipe on organs and sweet tea because I have some stuff in the draft that needs to be released. And then, yeah, we're currently editing a vlog. Well, the previous vlog, the vlog before this that you will see by the time you see this, that's what we're currently editing to get out. Because again, I changed the structure and I'm being more intentional. So I had to shoot a piece or 2 to add to that, just so that you guys can start seeing the intentional structure of it all. And so, like I said, there's going to be kind of like I won't want to say a template, but I just want it to have intentional parts. And so that is what you guys will be seeing by the time you see this vlog. But yeah, so that's what we're currently editing to get that out in the next day or 2. And then, oh yes, I'm working on a new intro, which I am so excited about. So excited about it. So excited about it. Oh my gosh. So that is what I have to actually do tonight as well. I have to pick music for it. I've already come up with the concept and all the things that I want in it and how I want it to look. And then I have to pick music for it and then a few filler shots of like the city and all that stuff to really tell the full story and then send it over to an editor that we work with. So we work with an editor when it comes to like intros, any extra little activity or task that we have to do that is edit wise, we have an editor that we work with. But yeah, it's mostly like for intros. So intros that I've done for like the podcast, intros that I did for this channel that's currently on this channel. Those are what we do because again, my husband is an editor, our editor, so he does all the other edits, all the bulk of most of the edits that we have. But for those little things, because those little things can take up time and he's always editing so much different content that we're doing, we just have an editor that we just offset that to. So yes, I'm working on a new intro, so I'm so excited because I really feel like the intro needs to be intentional, especially for the vlogs. And so yeah, so hopefully by the time you see this vlog, my new intro is already in it. Crossing my fingers. So yeah, that is it. That is really all that I have been doing. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Pick the music. I need very particular this time. Like he's very good in terms of he has creativity and all that stuff, but I want to be again so intentional. Like all of this stuff has to be intentional this time around because I just want everything to flow and for you guys to understand and get the gist of why this is here, why this is that, all of that good stuff. So that is it. So yeah, once I do all of that, that's just the little things I'm going to do and then bedtime. So it's not much to do right now. We had for dinner, we did like this stuffed Japanese sweet potato vibe, just a quick, easy dinner. So we did baked Japanese sweet potatoes. We had roasted salmon and shredded that on top, and then black beans, sauteed black beans, and then diced avocados, and then I did like my simple vegan ranch sauce on the top. So that's what we had for dinner, which was very, 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 very good. And yeah, So like I said, I'm about to do those little tasks that I have to do, and then that's that. I have been doing some short form content, like getting back into the food thing. I don't know if you guys are into food, if you guys are cooks and you love to cook or bake or whatever, definitely check out Organs and Sweet Tea on IG and also my website. That's where I have my recipes. But if you want to see like short form content, you also can see it on this channel because I actually put them on this channel. But if you want to kind of just see it all culminated, you can definitely follow me on IG. I post like more content there because you also have like photo carousels and things like that. But yeah, follow me on Organs and Sweet Tea. That is the food side of things. So if you are, again, a cook or a baker and all that stuff, then I have all that content there. But yeah, but I have been getting kind of back into it. Not really with shooting content per se, because I had so much before I stopped. I had so much that I just had there. And so I never deleted them. So I'm just now bringing them back out slowly because, again, most of the bulk of what I'm doing is the word and more of the faith content. And so you'll get the sprinkles of the food and all of that good stuff. But I did the collard greens that I put out was actually something that I did new. I actually shot that a couple days ago. It felt really good to be back. I haven't shot food content in like a while. If it hasn't been a year, it's been close to that. So that has been very challenging, but at the same time, very new because I've been doing food content for like the past 9 years. So this transition has been rather interesting, but again, I have to follow the Lord. I have to be obedient. And so coming back into it slowly and in a different way and for a different purpose, it's felt very good. It feels more aligned. And it just was like, wow, I still got it. Like I thought I would have lost the mojo. But I was like, no. I'm like, yeah, this is really something that he just gave me the gift to do, you know? If you guys have watched any of my videos or follow me on IG, then you know that I've talked about it where it's like I didn't even know how to cook when I started out. And so this was just something that God pressed on me to do. And I had to walk by faith. And in walking, not overnight, like I literally look back on some of the things I was doing like 6 years ago and I cringed like, whoa, I was really out here trying. I was really walking by faith. And in walking by faith, I thought I had it at that time. Like I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. But it wasn't until halfway in that he literally, it was like almost overnight. The ability to just cook and produce was just phenomenal. And so I just am like, I always look and I say, yeah, when he asks you to do something, you might not know how to do it well. You might struggle with how to do it. And even in your trying, you might feel like I'm not really doing it that great, but it's in your obedience, in your walk, that he somehow blows on that. And that transforms it into something extremely powerful that only the Holy Spirit could do. And so I'm testament to that just in something like cooking, right? That's a whole different sector of like, it wasn't faith-based. I shared my faith, but I mean, I'm saying it wasn't a faith-based task. So a lot of times we think that the Holy Spirit only empowers us to do things in the church like preaching and teaching and evangelizing and singing. But no, he empowers us to do whatever he wants to be done. So if you're in fashion, if you're in writing, if you're in cooking, if you're in art, if you're in movie production, if you're in whatever, the Holy Spirit will empower you to do what he needs to be done for God's glory. And so I just want to encourage someone who might be on their journey right now that might be thinking again, like Moses, like I stutter and I just don't have the ability, but the Holy Spirit, when it is time in God's timing, he will empower you in such a way that it doesn't even look like you didn't know how to do what you didn't know how to do. And I am a testament to that in the food space. And I'm also a testament to that now coming into the faith-based space. Like me talking in front of a camera, me teaching. Oh, guys, you guys, my lights literally, I promise you these lights are like so cheap. Sorry to be off tangent, but these lights are so cheap. Like I literally have them on for like 10, 15 minutes and they're dying. And I barely put them on. You have to literally charge it every single time. Hopefully you guys can still see me and it's not crazy dark. Sorry if it is, guys. I try to like make it brighter in here, but hopefully the middle one can help. But yeah, like I said, what was I saying? Oh yes, me doing this in front of a camera, like what? If you followed me on Organs VT, you know that I never showed my face. Like it was always hands and pans, and it's always just my hands. And so when he transitioned me out of that and wanted me to do ministry and teach the word and actually be on camera and actually talk, not really the thing that I can do, not really the thing that I'm comfortable with, not really the thing I think I have the ability to do. And yeah, it was a struggle, and it still is a struggle at some points. But just as I continue to go and walk by obedience, like I see that he does the same thing he did in Organs VT, where he's like, I'm with you. I got you. I'll empower you. I'll make it easier for you. And that's the point, right? It's not supposed to be so easy that you don't need him. You're supposed to depend on him. That's the whole point of why he makes it hard. He makes it impossible. He makes it feel unattainable. And so, yeah, I just want to encourage someone, just if you are in that and you feel like it's bigger than you, it's supposed to be bigger than you. That means that it's God, and he's like, just trust me, walk with me, talk with me, do all of the things, and I got you. I will empower you. I will make it better. I will make you masterful at it. I'll make you more diligent. I'll give you more excellence with it. I will cultivate you. I will transform you. I will do that. And so, yeah, so be encouraged, y'all. Be encouraged. You're in the right spot. You just got to have the courage. You have to have the courage. And this is what I spoke about in my latest, what I'm learning in my 30s. Like, you have to have courage to cross the Jordan. Like, it's going to take courage because the Jordan looks impossible. And a lot of the times we talk about being at the Jordan and think that it's like just, okay, I'm right at the cusp of my promise. So it's easy. Just cross on over and you're good to go. And it's like, no, this is where the greatest challenges happen. This is where the greatest test happens. This is where fear comes in, because it looks like, how can I get there? And I see it, but from where I'm at, it looks like it's not possible at all. And so that is the point of why you have to have courage. And this is why God told Joshua, be courageous. Know that I'm with you. Be strong. Do it. Go. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I didn't want to talk your heads off again. Been talking for like 30 minutes. Not trying to make this super long. But yeah, I pray that that encouraged someone, because I've had to learn that and am learning that still. I realize that's just God's ways, and he wants that trust and that faith in him to be stronger and more matured season by season. And so that will always be our thing, where it's like he's going to ask you to do something that you cannot do in your own strength, that you cannot do on your own. And so the whole point is dependency. Learn to trust him, learn to lean on him, and just go. That's it, y'all. So, like I said, I got a few little things to do, I'm about to do, and then I'm about to get some sleep. So, I will talk to you guys again later. Love you. Hey, y'all. I just wanted to actually end this vlog because there has been like a gap since the last part of this vlog that I actually created. I actually haven't filmed in like 2 weeks because it has just been crazy. I just pretty much been out of commission for the most part for the past like for a good week and a few days, because I don't know, y'all, but I don't know if any of you guys have this issue, but lately, the past few years, probably like since being in my mid 30s, like I found that like my nerves have been like really, I don't know if it's sensitive or what, but lately because I'm a side sleeper, I can sleep on my side. And if I sleep slightly bad, obviously sometimes you just have like a little bit of neck pain. But for me, it gets to rarely, but it's pretty, I'm starting to see it's a little bit more frequent. Like a little bit of neck pain can start as something small like that, and then it becomes my whole nerves in my body just gets inflamed, and it's like super painful, literally like bedridden for like a few days, like insane. So that happened like a week and a half ago. And so I really just have been like getting back to myself the past couple of days, but I just haven't been filming because I've just been doing a lot of admin stuff. But this is like my first day back. Obviously you guys won't notice because I've been filming a lot of vlogs in quite a big capacity, so it just keeps it flowing. But yeah, but I have not been filming for like the past 2 weeks. And yeah, like right now, for the most part, I'm good. It's just that ever so often you kind of feel like the pain on one side. It could be either this side, or it could be the shoulder. And I believe they say it's like the vagus nerves that are on two sides, like the largest nerves in your body. And a lot of the time that I think they connect to all the parts of your body. So literally, like when I say from my head all the way down to my feet was just inflamed. Yeah. So I am back. I realize I just have to make a few changes. So I had to like obviously buy a actual specialized pillow, and I've really been slacking on it. Like I know that I needed to buy a better pillow, but you know, when you're just like, I think it's okay. Again, when you have like slight little pains, aches here and there, you're like, all right, it's cool. But when I really start realizing that like the intensified pains start getting more frequent, I'm like, okay, there's changes that I have to clearly make, because I think as a side sleeper, I was researching and stuff that like this is a common thing, especially because you sometimes can crush your shoulder when you're sleeping, because depending on which side you're sleeping on, because you're obviously putting the weight of your body on that shoulder. And so a lot of the times that can trigger the pulling of your muscle, which also triggers the nerve. And so, yeah, it's like a whole thing. And I think they were saying there's like a space between your shoulder blade and your arm or something like that, or your spine. And so some people has a bigger space, so you might not need to adjust the pillow as much. Some people have a smaller space. So it's just like so many different physiological things. But yeah, being a side sleeper is definitely no joke. There's always, I feel like, aches and pains, because you're just like, it's very hard to really just adjust to the perfect thing. And I thought having a firm mattress would be great, which it has been for the most part, but I also find that because I sleep on my side, like now I need the support. So like I was saying, I got pillow that definitely has been, I just got that probably 3 days ago. And like the past 3 nights have been a lot better in terms of sleep, been able to get sleep without interruption, all of that stuff. So I know that I just needed to adjust my pillow and all of that good stuff. And I'm also going to be starting Pilates to build strengthening, just obviously my whole body, because, you know, like I fairly am an active person for the most part. Obviously most days I'm not as active because I'm just mostly on the computer, which I noticed since I've been doing that the past few years, it has not been the best body wise. And so I definitely know I need to get way more movement in my body, get back to doing a lot of more things that are strengthening. And so, yeah, I'm not really one that likes the traditional exercise stuff. So Pilates, I felt like, was the perfect thing that would allow me to strengthen my body, but at the same time, I guess to just be more motivating for me versus having to do, granted, you're sweating and doing all that stuff, but instead of having to do treadmilling and all this stuff, although I have a treadmill, which I'm going to be doing, for walking though, for me to get my steps in, because I want to have a certain amount of steps based on my Oura ring and just all of the things. I'm realizing that exercise and all that stuff is definitely more for health. I know that we oftentimes use it for vanity metrics in the sense of just losing weight or just having a certain look in terms of body type and all that stuff. But really and truly for health, I realize that exercise and movement is necessary, especially the older you get. And getting into perimenopause has been an interesting stage of life. And so there's a lot of adjustments that I'm now making, which has been different, but at the same time better, especially with my eating. As I've been telling you guys a few vlogs ago, I definitely have changed in my eating. I have sort of fell back a little bit, especially with like being down, but for the most part, definitely have been doing much better in terms of eating better and cleaner, eating my prebiotic and probiotic yogurt that I tell you guys about, coconut cult, which is vegan. Like all of the things have definitely been helping me overall. And so I notice it. And so it's just the continuum. And then obviously, like I said, adding the physical element and all of that stuff. So yeah, so if any of you guys deal with like nerve pain or just triggered nerves or any of that stuff. And it's really super intense. Definitely, I'm going to be talking more about that like in not my next vlog, but well, my next vlog, I might talk a little bit more about it. Yeah, I probably talk a little bit more about it. Like, what did I do? Because I actually, healed it naturally, because your nerves just take a while to heal, but you can definitely heal it. So yeah, so I'll probably go into that in the next vlog when I have more time. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of that. And like I said, I want to close out this vlog. So usually I close it out with faith talks. And so I've been reading this recently, or I'm just continuing, like I always tell you guys, this book that I've been talking about for a while, still on it, taking my time, haven't been reading it every day. So it's really just been a slow read, but it's The 12 Ordinary Men, in case you're new here and you are not aware. It's by John MacArthur. I have that in my Amazon shop linked in the description. But I reached in a chapter where this stood out to me because it really is confirmation to what God has been kind of showing me in this season of like faithfulness. And so in this part, it says, this is where John MacArthur is talking about Andrew. And so a lot of the times everyone talks about Peter, obviously, because he's like the one that Jesus made the rock of the church and all of the things. And he did a lot of things because he was just really just more bold and more of a leader and out there. But Andrew, his brother, was truly significant, and John MacArthur really allowed that to stand out and be apparent. And so this part stood out to me where he said, some people see the big picture more clearly just because they appreciate the value of small things. Andrew fits that category. This comes through clearly in John's account of the feeding of the 5,000. And so he just goes into, a lot of people don't really mention it like that, but it was really Andrew that suggested the little boy's lunch, which was 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread to feed the 5,000, while all the rest of the disciples were trying to figure out like how would they go and buy it, or whether they should send the people off into the towns or their own place to eat, or whatever the case may be. But it was Andrew who saw the small, insignificant thing of the little boy's lunch and suggested it to Jesus because he knew that Jesus was able to do big things. And so, and John talks about it further in like various other accounts as well, where Andrew did the same thing. And it was also Andrew that brought Peter to Christ. And so a lot of these things we don't really talk about because I think we oftentimes look for the big, best thing that's happening or what someone's doing that seems super large and super significant and super spiritual. And a lot of the times is the people that are doing the smallest things that lead to the biggest things. And the fact that they were willing and courageous to start even in the smallest thing and have faith in that small thing, that was able to be like a trickle effect for the person that might be chosen to do more of a grander scheme of something. And so I just found it truly interesting and just profound because it just made me realize, like I said, just been confirming a lot of what God has been talking to me about this season, about faithfulness and seeing the value in small things. And I think that's something that I have been, really been honing in on and just trying to be intentional on, because especially when you're starting over or starting into a new thing, or maybe he asks you to leave something behind and then start something else, or, just transition or whatever it may be. Sometimes we see the small start, the small seed as something insignificant compared to what we hope for it to be or what he said it will be, or just what everybody else's thing is. And I just really have been meditating on just the fact that faithfulness requires us to keep going when there's no results. And it requires us to continue to have faith and to continue to trust the process, continue to trust that God is sovereign, that God is a promise keeper, and also that there is significance in the thing that you're doing, even when you don't get a lot of views, even when you don't get a lot of revenue, even when you don't get a lot of success in that area. There is still a significance, even if it helped one person, that is significant in the kingdom. And so it's just been something that I've been meditating on and just really challenging my mindset, because I think especially living in this world where everything has to be big and grander, big announcements, big this, big that, you sometimes, it's so easy to overlook the small stuff because we just assume that it doesn't mean anything because it's not, giving that wow factor. Or we always think God is just this big blesser and this big person, this big God that does only large miracles and large signs and large wonders. And there's been times in the Bible where he's whispered There's been times in the Bible where he did a small thing. There were times in the Bible where, he moved something that might have been easily overlooked if you didn't see what he was doing. And so that's just really where I've just been, especially, like I said, just kind of being out of commission and not really doing physically a lot of things in terms of content and all that stuff, but doing things more on the back end and being able to just really see just the bigger scope and refining content and refining everything and refining my heart and refining my mind and all of that stuff. I've just really been meditating on really truly, understanding the importance of the small thing. And I was watching this podcast that Great Man to Keep, one of my favorite artists, he's an African artist, worship and rapper, Christian rapper. And he was talking about like people who are bridges are called to be bridges. And, God has certain people called to be bridges. And with those people, he said something that was so significant. He said that a lot of the times God builds the strength before the beauty. So a lot of the times you're in a wilderness season, or you're in a pruning season or a refining season, and it's been long, or it feels like you're being hidden, and it feels like you're not being seen for the thing that he's called you into, but he's asking you to keep going and to continue to be faithful and to continue to be diligent and to continue to be excellent and to do it unto him. And a lot of the times you might help other people along the way, and you watch them surpass you, or you watch so many people getting this breakthrough and getting this blessing, and their ministries are getting big and they're getting promotions and they're getting all the things, while you think you're being stuck and you're thinking that you're still walking through the wilderness, not understanding the purpose of the wilderness, but also not understanding that he's called you to be a bridge and they might be a building. And a building goes up quicker and it might look taller and it goes up higher. But a bridge, it's stronger, it lasts longer, and it grows wider. And so he really broke it down beautifully, and I'm gonna link the podcast in the description for you guys to watch, because it's definitely powerful. But he was just talking about just, because he's a bridge builder where he does both worship music and rap music, and he does them both excellently. And a lot of the times when you're called to pioneer or to do something different, people misunderstand you. People don't get it. They just are just like, I don't know where to put you. Why don't you choose one thing? Why don't you master one thing? Not realizing that God might have given you 5 talents and you are mastering all 5 and you're multiplying those 5. But people, because they don't understand, because sometimes people think a lot of things are opposite, and a lot of the times God, because he's sovereign and he's the creator, a lot of things connect, and it spoke volumes to me, because again, it's just been confirming all the things that God has been speaking to me privately about, especially with like doing ministry and doing this and also doing food. And a lot of the times at first I thought it had to be separated and that they didn't have any correlation until he's been really just talking to me about how they're actually far more connected than not. And so like he doesn't want it to be separated. He wants me to interweave them as one thing. And so sometimes when no one talks about when you're multi-talented or when you have multiple gifts, and how do you utilize those for the kingdom, and how do you utilize them to make sense. And sometimes it doesn't look like it's making sense because you yourself are learning it, right? A lot of the times when God calls us to a thing, he doesn't give us the full picture. He a lot of the times asks for obedience in one moment. And as we continue to walk in obedience, he gives us revelation upon revelation upon revelation. And that's what I've learned in this season. Like, as I've continued to walk and be faithful into what he's called me to, it looked messy at first. It looked confusing. It looked like a whole bunch of things was happening and I was doing a whole bunch of different things. And then you continue to get refined, and the revelation comes, and then you refine some more. And then the revelation comes again and you refine a little bit more, until you gain full clarity of like, this is what you meant. This is what you want. This is how you want it. This is how I can do it. And so that has been the season that I have been in. And yeah, so like I said, that whole podcast episode was just like super profound. And so for anybody that either you have more than one talent, you could have the 2, you could have 5, you could have how many, or you're just in a season where, again, you feel insignificant, or what he's called you to, it looks like it's just a small seed. But one thing I have been pondering as I've been finishing up Matthew, the book of Matthew, I realized that Jesus in his parables often said the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed. And he always started off like that. Like most of the parables, if you read them in Matthew, he's like, the kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed. It looks insignificant. It looks small. It looks like it's not doing anything much, or it couldn't do anything much. But he's like, but it's far reaching. It's something that will prevail. It's something that will grow and be super rooted and super intertwined and interwoven into history. And, you know, a lot of the times I think, again, like I said, we've been trained to kind of think that it's only big things that matter and it's only big things that create movement. But it's like, no, it's a lot of small things. Like when you look at just nature and just life and just the evolution of life and the cycle of life, whether through animals or through humans, everything starts small. Like a baby starts small, from an egg to an embryo. You know, animals start small. Rain, it starts small. Snow, it starts small. It starts from the vapor coming up from the waters, being, you know, I guess, what's the word? Being recycled in the clouds and then coming down like snow after it's been at a certain temperature. Like there's just so many things that just seem small, just like a plant, as you know, it starts small. It has a little bud, not realizing though that the little bud that we see at the top is nothing compared to the roots that have grown at the bottom. And then once all those roots have grown at the bottom, then you start seeing it sprouts up quickly, right? And so it's just, I say all of that to say, like, I've just realized that, like, we just have to not see things small. We have to start seeing things the way that God sees it. And, you know, it reminds me of when the children of Israel were trying to conquer the promised land, and some of the soldiers came back and told Joshua that they feel insignificant, they feel small like grasshoppers. But then there were other half of them that said, no, like they felt like we can definitely conquer it. We definitely can overtake the people that were there. And, you know, if you're not careful, in a lot of instances, like Jesus even said in the parables, even with the talent, like if you see it so small, like the person that saw the one talent small and saw the father wrong, right? Or the master wrong in that parable, it is there. That's a danger, because a lot of the times it's in those moments where the enemy will tell us a lie and we'll believe it and we put it down, or we don't put as much excellence to it, or we don't become as faithful to it. And a lot of the times we abort it before it even starts. And so it's so important that regardless of what season you're in, that you see clearly. And that is truly my prayer in this season, to just continue to discern clearly, not just myself, not just the assignment, but also what God is doing. And so I just really hope that this helps you. This little faith talks, I know that it was a little bit of not as lengthy, but it was a little substantial. But I just wanted to share that with you. Like, regardless of whether people get it, regardless of whether people understand what you're doing, regardless of whether people support what you're doing, family, friends, or foes, like you have to be willing, and you have to make a decision to say, I need to obey the Lord. And if he's called me to do a thing, I have to trust his plan, his way, and his provision. And so that is just all that I want to leave with you as I end this vlog. I definitely have so much more in the next vlog for you guys. A lot on the Pilates and all of the things that I'll be doing. I will be definitely sharing that in the next vlog, on top of like decluttering for the spring and all of the good things. And so, yeah. So I just want to share that with you guys. I really hope that you are doing well. I really hope in the midst of the chaos, you are guarding your heart, mind, and soul. And I really pray that you had a great Easter, and that you were able to just get some rest. You know, I think a lot of the times we don't want to rest, and we don't think rest is holy, but it is. It's very holy. And sometimes we need rest. Sometimes that's all we need is rest. A lot of the times we just have so much going on in our minds and our hearts, and we're just watching, you know, news after news, social media after social media, doom scrolling and doing all the things. And sometimes you just need rest. And rest is a heart posture that says, I trust the Lord will continue to do even when I'm not doing. And a lot of the times when we have a hard time resting is because we have control issues and we don't trust the Lord. And that's what that shows. And so that's why, you know, whether you honor the Sabbath or not, or whether you just choose a day to rest every week, whatever it is, that is a heart posture that says, I trust that God will provide the increase for all that I did before and while I'm resting now. And so, yeah. So again, I want to thank you for watching up until this point. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community. I definitely look forward to more and more vlogs. And yeah, until next time, I love you guys. And I will talk to you guys again.